Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. With the Champions League semi-final ahead of us, I thought to myself to build a combined 11 of the four Champions League semi-finalist teams: Arsenal FC, FC Barcelona, Paris Saint Germain, and Inter Milan. For goalkeeping position, we have Chesney, Donnarumma, David Raya, and Jan Sommer, all having good seasons. Sommer dropping off a bit. Obviously, he's getting a bit older. Raya continuing to have a good career path. Donnarumma definitely finally having those big Champions League knockouts performances. And, I mean, Chesney, I don't think we've ever seen a player come out of retirement and be this good. Like, he's been crucial for FC Barcelona, especially in that second leg versus Dortmund or first leg versus Benfica. But my choice has to be Gianluigi Donnarumma. He's been the best here for the longest period, and this season he's been crucial for Paris Saint Germain in those two away games at Anfield and at Villa Park. So Gianluigi Donnarumma takes the goalkeeping position. At right back position, we have Jules Koundé, Achraf Hakimi, Julian Timber, and Denzel Dumfries. I think Denzel Dumfries is probably the worst out of these four. Still a good player. I think he's very underrated, but doesn't match the quality of the other three. Then we have Julian Timber. You know, I think he had an injury, a big injury-ish last season, came back this season. Whenever I've watched him, he's performed really well versus the opposition left winger. In second place is Jules Koundé, very consistent for FC Barcelona this season, and adding some attacking attributes as well, having a lot of goals and assists this season compared to last season. But once again, the obvious name has to be Achraf Hakimi, best right back this past 2 seasons. Ever since Luis Enrique has entered the club, Achraf Hakimi has been performing so well and is crucial part for this Paris Saint Germain team. Obviously, 7 goals and assists in the UCL this season. Absolute monster. Achraf Hakimi takes the right back position. Moving on to the centre back spot, we have a lot of names: Inigo Martinez and Kubarsi from Barca, Marquinhos and Pacho from Paris Saint Germain, Gabriel and Saliba from Arsenal, and Bastoni and Pavard from Inter Milan. And I want to be as quick as possible here because it's too many names to go through every single one of them. But I will have William Pacho and Inigo Martinez. I think they've been the best performing centre backs this season, especially in the big games, especially in the big Champions League games. So it has to be Pacho and Inigo Martinez for my 2 centre-back spots. Moving on to the left-back position, we have Balde, Nuno Mendes, Luis Skelly, and Di Marco. Once again, very great left-backs from this upcoming semi-finals team. Di Marco, Skelly, Balde, Nuno. Again, I can talk about these players and say a bunch of good stuff and so on, but it obviously has to be Nuno Mendes, especially looking Champions League-wise. He has 4 goals this season in the Champions League, including that winner that counts as an own goal versus Girona. Like, he's been absolutely sensational for Paris Saint-Germain this season in UCL. Obviously, he's had some mistakes here and there, but how he's performed both offensively and defensively, such as versus Mohamed Salah in those 2 legs, it gotta be Nuno Mendes for the left-back position. Moving into the midfield, and we once again have a bunch of names here: Pedri and De Jong from FC Barcelona, Vitinha and João Neves from Paris Saint-Germain, Ødegaard and Rice from Arsenal, and Barella and Hakan Çalhanoğlu from Inter Milan. Again, I can talk a lot of stuff about these players, but I can already see the midfield 3 that I want to have. First name, Pedri. I think he's having a Ballon d'Or-esque season. Like, he's having masterclasses every single game for FC Barcelona. Huge player for FC Barcelona. So Pedri is my first name. And the other 2 is the Paris Saint-Germain Portuguese duo, João Neves and Vitinha. When the game is ticking, they're controlling it. They've been huge for Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League this season, both in the group stage and in the UEFA Champions League knockout stages. So my midfield 3 is Pedri, Vitinha, and João Neves. Moving on to the right wing position, we have Lamine Yamal, Ousmane Dembele, Bukayo Saka, and Inter Milan do not play with wingers, so I just pick Correa for that position. I think Saka, coming back from his injury and just overall this season, has been very good this season. It has been consistent the past 3 years. Lamine Yamal having another breakthrough season, especially at his age, performing that well. But the obvious name has to be Ousmane Dembele. I believe he has 42 GA this season, being huge for Paris Saint-Germain in the league, in the cups, and obviously in the UEFA Champions League. He takes the right wing position. Moving on to the left wing position, we have Rafinha, Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, Martinelli, and once again, Inter Milan do not play with wingers, so I picked Aslani. And once again, I think the name is clear here. I mean, Aslani not a winger, Martinelli is not that good. Khvicha has had some of an underwhelming season looking at his talent and quality. The obvious name has to be Rafinha. The second top goal scorer in the Champions League this season, has been huge for FC Barcelona, especially in the big games where they need him. And they wouldn't be potentially at this stage in the Champions League without Rafinha carrying them. So the left winger obviously has to be Rafinha Belol. For the striker position, we have Lautaro Martinez, Merino, Desiree Doué, and Robert Lewandowski. Desiree Doué, even though he's been so good, performing at such a high level, he's been doing it a bit shorter and not even started our biggest games in the UCL this season. Merino also has to be taken off. Let's be serious. And it's between Lautaro and Lewandowski. And I do think if I went to the pitch, Lautaro is a better player, but Lewandowski has had a better season. Lautaro has been very inconsistent, especially in Serie A this season. I think only 13 goals compared to Lewandowski's 23, 24, but has started picking up in the UCL knockout stages there. But the obvious name has to be Robert Lewandowski at the striker position. And that finishes up the lineup. Gianluigi Donnarumma in goal, Hakimi, Nuno Mendes, Pacho, Inigo Martinez in defense, Pedri, Vitinha, João Neves in midfield, Ousmane Dembele, Rafinha, and Robert Lewandowski up in attack. 7 Paris Saint Germain players and 4 FC Barcelona players. And I mean, I think that's the best thing to tell the world. The most talented 2 teams in the world has been Paris Saint Germain and FC Barcelona, and they have been the 2 best teams in the world as well. Paris Saint Germain, I think, is the best and most talented, and Barcelona right behind us, and that's what explains this lineup I built right here. I think Arsenal and Inter Milan have good players, but not better than the Paris Saint Germain and some of the FC Barcelona players. Hopefully, guys, have enjoyed this combined 11. Let me know in the comments down below what would be your combined 11 out of the 4 Champions League semi-final teams. That's been it from my boy PSGINT, and as usual, allez Paris.